Hey everybody, it is Karen, and today we have a nice hip opener Psoas hip flexor yoga class today. So I just came back from the chiropractor this morning, and my psoas muscle, which is tied around the lower spine, wraps a little bit around the hip, super tight, super contracted from a lot of sitting or a lot of hyperextending, in my case, of my low back. So we're going to pay special attention to that, so that hip flexor muscle that gets too tight from sitting. So let's start seated on your mat. Maybe you're going to lie back, maybe you're going to sit up. I'll just be seated. If you want to lie back for just a little bit of emptying the vessel, emptying your body and mind out so that you have room for something new. So this is our yin that's going to meet up with our yang. So relaxing your shoulders away from your ears, relaxing your thoughts away from your mind. Can you separate your mind from your thoughts? Relaxing the future and the past away from this moment. Relax them away from now. And start breathing in deeply, in through the nose. Pausing when you're full, exhaling out through the nose. And just repeat as I focus your mind's eye on relaxation and letting go. Returning to the powerful breath, the invisible breath. Opening the space between your eyebrows, deep inside your head, your intuition center. Picture that like opening the drapes, lifting the shades. Just open that spot up. As you breathe in over that spot. As you breathe out, breathe over that spot. Relax your eyes and their sockets. Relax your eyelashes, the bottom lashes. Relax them away from the top lashes. Relax your jaw, your bottom jaw away from the top jaw. Resting your tongue behind your top two front teeth, coming into neutral position. Relax the bottom of your earlobe away from the top of your ear. And find space between your right ear and your left ear. Find open space and light. Relaxing your shoulders away from your earlobes and softening the throat. Relax your shoulders away from your worries. Any tension that the shoulders tightened, constricted, compacted those muscles. When the body, when the mind is tense, the body goes tense. Remember, they're one of the same. Find space along the right side of your neck and space along the left side of your neck. Space in the front of your neck and in the back of your neck. Let there be room. Continuing to breathe in deeply in and out through the nose, finding that your internal organs, everything in your torso, is working correctly, in a state of good health, in a yin and yang balance. Noticing that if you're sitting up, your tailbone is grounding to the earth, the yin energy of the earth. It is plugged in. Gravity is holding you in place. The crown of your head is lifting to the yang, the sun, the sky energy up above. Relaxing your hips. Your hip flexors, those muscles that come in front of where your hip bends into your thigh, joins into your thigh, relaxing those. Noticing your legs. These are the legs that walked you in, sat you down. Just notice them, appreciating where they've taken you. Wiggling your toes a little bit, noticing the space between your toes, the soles of your feet. Noticing that there's lots of room from the soles of the feet to the crown of the head. And when you feel ready to purge your breath, that's exhaling through the mouth. This time, let's take 3 exhales out through the mouth, really letting go of what you don't need. Relaxing your way up to a seated position if you're lying back. We'll join each other in a seated position, easy seat, Sukhasana, half lotus, maybe 1 foot above, full lotus, maybe both. Listen to your body, notice where you're at. If your hip flexors are tight, full lotus is going to be extra painful, so we're not looking for that to happen. So starting with our stretching out here, loosening up, hands to heart, Anjali Mudra. Drop the chin to the chest, spine is long and straight. Inhale, open, squeeze, exhale, close, chin to chest. Inhale, open, heart to sky, exhale, closed. Inhale, open, squeeze, exhale, closed. Hands at the heart, we're going to just press both hands away to right or left side and look away. Back to center. Push away, look away. Back to center. Push away, look away. Shoulder is dropped away from the ears. Coming back to center. Nice. I'm going to switch sides in my half lotus. Equal opportunity, finding more balance between the 2 sides. Inhaling arms up high to the sky. Picking the apples. So we're turning into the season of fall. So we won't be talking about picking cherries anymore for now. We are taking our cues from the seasons, just like all the other animals, right? They do different things in the fall than they do in the summer. Fall is considered the season of inspiration. Inspire. Lifting up long. Really opening up the side body that gets neglected sometimes. And then just bringing that arm down. Hands in front, palms facing you. Let's exhale forward, push away, coming into cat. Let's inhale, lifting up, coming into cow. Exhale forward, push away. Inhale, inspire. A couple more times. What comes into you is goodness. What goes out of you is compost. What comes into you is inspiration. What goes out of you is compost. Last time in, last time out. Nice. A little bit of work for the neck and the head, a little bit more. Dropping left ear to left shoulder. Maybe you even take your left hand and guide that ear over. Noticing the stretching along the side of the neck on the right. Maybe extending the right arm out long. Using your arm as a sliding board for stress. Maybe you circle your right wrist. Swirling the energy, come back to center. Same thing on the other side. Either just turning your ear to your shoulder or using your upper arm to help. Maybe pressing your opposite arm away, maybe circling your wrist. And then sitting up nice and tall, looking from side to side, noticing how that is. Hopefully good. Let's just do a little shaking, bending the elbows, wrists, shaking, shaking, shaking. Good one to do if you've been working a lot with your hands. Okay, working a lot at the keyboard. Opposite way, shaking, loosen all that stuff up, let it go. Lots of tingles in your hands, super good. 3 breaths up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, get inspired. Exhale down. Beautiful. Coming to your tabletop position, the center of your mat. You know how it goes. Tabletop, knees under hips, hands in alignment with elbows and shoulders. Taking your cat-cow from here, dropping the belly, looking up high. Inhale. Exhaling cat. And then again. So taking this at your own pace. Maybe you need more time in one than the other. I need more time in my cat to protect my low back. So that's what I'm doing. So one breath, one motion. This is super healthy for your mind and body. Exhaling cat, inhaling cow. Thinking about the front of your spine in cow, thinking about the back of your spine in cat. And then if you ever want to take a kidney squeeze, looking out over your shoulder, squeeze that part of you that's back there, coming back to center. Same thing on the other side, a little kidney squeeze back there, coming back to center. And then wag your tail. Loosen all that up. And we're going to come into our bird dog position. So reaching the left leg out long and straight, reaching the right arm out long. Holding yourself in a balance here, spreading your fingers apart, pressing into your fingertips. Your neck is in alignment with the rest of your spine. Now kicking that heel, reaching back for that foot, rotating your right shoulder back, pressing your foot into your hand, and looking up. Feel that stretch in the quad. Feel that balancing position here. And let's release. Switching sides. Right leg out, left arm out. Nice and long. Toes are down, heel is up. That foot is in Tadasana pose. Pressing into your fingertips. Holding this balancing pose and then kicking that heel up, reaching back, looking behind you. Seeing what's there. And breathing. We need our breath for this class. And then release. And then tucking the toes under, sitting all the way back on your toes. So if this is too much for your toes, come on all fours. Otherwise, we're going to take a moment here, sitting on our toes. Shoulders are stacked over hips. We're in alignment here. So opening up the feet. So we're kind of getting away from the barefoot season, unless you're running around your house in bare feet. And so being aware of the soles of the feet and how they feel is important for our sense of balance. Okay, so body awareness is part of our yoga practice on and off the mat. So still tucking my toes under. Wow, okay. Inhaling and exhaling. Let's focus on something besides the toes. Inhaling up, reaching up, lifting out of the soles of the feet, turning the pinkies towards you, the thumbs in the opposite direction, swirling the energy. Exhale down, pushing the arms out to the sides, touch the walls, bringing the arms down. Let's come forward and pat that out. Okay, nice. Coming up into our down dog, toes tucked under. Oh, that's easy. Butts are high to the sky. Heels are invited down. Hips go high. Inside of the elbows are gazing longingly at each other. Opening up the backs of the legs. Lifting here, holding your dog, coming to tippy toes, pedaling out a little bit, pressing into your fingertips, not just dumping into your palm. Inhaling right leg up high to the sky, kicking right heel into the left butt cheek. Open up that hip. Opening that up, really looking out under your armpit, noticing how that feels. And breathing, bringing that leg down, sweeping it through, coming right into our high lunge, crescent lunge. So, wide stance on crescent lunge. Ball of the back foot. Already we are working on the psoas of the left leg. So that hip flexor muscle. So we're going to just pulse up and down. You can pull the arms down. Inhale up, straighten the front leg, bending the front knee, keeping the back leg straight. Inhale up. Exhale down, really feeling it. One more time. Exhale down. Dropping the arms back. Stay upright, but arms in airplane. Really feeling it on your hip flexor, hovering over your thigh to get that good feeling. Activating your glute. And bringing your arms up again. Cartwheel your hands down to frame your foot. Coming back to three-legged dog. Foot comes down, flowing from here through your vinyasa, down dog to high plank or kneeling plank, chaturanga dandasana or kneeling, your cobra or your up dog. Exhaling back to downward facing dog. Feet come behind hands, hanging in your forward fold, lifting your hips up high, hands to shins, reaching out long. Flat back, hanging forward yet again, slight bend in the knees and inhaling up. Salute to the sun. Few breaths here, lifting up, lifting long. Swan dive down, hands to mat, pressing back into dog. Building some heat here. Inhaling, left leg up high to the sky, kicking left heel into the right butt cheek. Gazing out under the left armpit, lifting that knee a little bit higher, and breathing, squaring those hips and bringing that foot forward, Rising up to crescent lunge, high lunge on this side. So now it's the right hip flexor that's getting it good. And so both feet are facing forward. We're on the ball of the right foot. Arms are up. So just feel this, pulse a little bit, feeling that hip flexor. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, maybe moonflowers coming down. Stay down this time. Elbows at your thigh, at your waist. Palms are open. Bring arms out and back. Chest expansion, and then hover forward over your thigh. Feel it in your glute of your left leg. Right leg is out nice and long, and then we'll inhale up. Hands down to the mat, push back into three-legged dog. Pulse that a little bit, bringing that foot down, flowing in again. Down dog to high plank or kneeling. Tucking the elbows in, Chaturanga Dandasana or kneeling. Cobra or up dog. Exhaling back to downward facing dog. Pausing wherever you like. Maybe you stay in down dog. Coming to forward fold, lifting the hips up high, spilling out over an imaginary ball, hands to shins, reaching out long, flat back. Hanging forward yet again, just like bending the knees, no locking out, inhaling up. Salute to the sun. 3 breaths. Swan dive down yet again, hands to mat, push back to dog. Beautiful, so we have built the heat. The sun salutation taken from that point instead of starting into Tadasana. That full kind of wake up everything, hitting all the parts of the spine, forward fold, back bend, inversion. Doing a lot that we need to be doing. So feeling your dog, walking your feet out to the sides, walking your hands closer to your feet. Soles of the heels are absolutely down here, holding on to the backs of your heels and folding forward. Trading places, decompressing the spine. Tailbone goes high, crown goes low. So hanging upside down, so to speak, is a great way to decompress the spine. Super smart, because everything we do all day long, all the pounding, walking, running, jumping, going up the stairs, going down the stairs, compresses the spine. So now we get a chance to decompress the spine. Let's take a flowing twist from here. So let's take the left hand towards the right foot, bringing the right arm up. Then right hand towards left foot, left arm up. Flowing twist. I'll change positions so you can see this in a different way. So gently feel the twist as you flow the pose. Slight bend in the knees if that's helpful. One more on each side, flowing twist. And then we'll come back to center. And then we'll take the hands in a reverse position. So I swirled my wrists so that my fingers are pointing in the opposite direction of my toes. And I'm going to walk my hands backwards, slight bend in the knees. And I'm going to have a straddle forward fold, really lengthening through the spine. Feeling it in the hip, or feeling it in the hamstrings, backs of the legs. Let your head hang heavy. Shake yes, shake no. Bending the knees, releasing the hands, rising up. Inhaling up. Salute to the sun. Nice. Coming into warrior two. So hip opener. So left hip open, right leg straight. Arms parallel to the earth. Gaze over the left fingers. really working to open up this hip. So we want this hip to really do the exact opposite of what we do all day long, which is sitting with our hips and our legs straight in front of us. So hip opener, pulling up the right kneecap, using these legs as our foundation and our strength. Feel the foot seal, the pada bandha, the foot seal to the earth. Inhale up, drop the right arm down, lift the left arm, reverse the warrior. Feel the side body. Exhale back. Flow again, inhale up. Exhale down. Last time, inhale up. Exhale down. Coming into a side angle pose, any version you like. Hand to mat, front leg is bent. If it weren't bent, this might be a triangle pose. We can take a half bind, we can do a full bind, reaching underneath. You do what works for you as you continue to open up your left hip. So focusing on your left hip opening, focusing on your right kneecap pulling up, creating strength in that right leg. Breathing, the face is relaxed. We don't hate our life here. And let's just bring our right arm forward. Let's frame the left foot. Let's widen the stance because we're going from a balance beam to railroad tracks. And let's encourage that hip flexor on the right leg. So the left hip was open for warrior two. Now the right leg is open for low lunge. So let's pulse a little bit here, noticing that feeling. Noticing what it's like. Stretching it out more, and let's just take a hop back with that back leg. Both legs straight, coming into our pyramid pose. So two straight legs that are not on the balance beam, gazing at your kneecap, framing your front foot, coming into another way to decompress the spine, stretching out your front leg, especially in this pose, lifting the hips, pyramid pose. Speaking of pyramid, I'm thinking about the pyramid in front of the Louvre in France. That is my first trip out of the country. Please, God, let it happen someday, when pandemic times are over. Let's bend that front knee, frame that front foot. Let's push back into dog. Hold your dog, flow through a vinyasa, take a child's pose. You do what works for you to clean the slate before we do the same thing on the other side. Taking a break, a pause, anywhere you might need more. You can always make up your own vinyasa flow, adding different things to it. I'm going to stay up, so whenever you're ready to come up, we're just going to meet on the other side. So take your time from your pose. This time, right knee bent, left leg straight, opening up the right hip. We want this leg to stay open. We're gazing out over the right fingertips, lifting out of the low back. So you know that's a hot spot for me, my low back. I'm always hyperextending, hyper cow back there. And let's flip the palm, inhale up, reverse the warrior without losing the bend in the knee. So sometimes when we reverse the warrior, we're straightening up. We're not straightening anything here. Exhale forward, inhale back, exhale forward. Pulling up the left kneecap, don't lose that edge. Holding our warrior two, power to the community. So we need this, right? Send your good energy from your heart, through your arms, to the community. Coming into your side angle pose, still bent leg, maybe elbow on thigh, hand on thigh, hand on mat, half bind. Still keeping our base. Our legs are still the same, so pulling up the left kneecap, opening up the right hip. Breathing, breathing, breathing. And then pivoting forward, widening your stance, this time framing the right foot. The left leg and the left hip flexor are getting it good over here. So you can do a little pulsing, noticing that stretching. How's that feeling? Right knee over right ankle. Does this feel different than the other side? Body awareness. We can't rush yoga, right? You can run faster and end your run around a lake or something, but you can't rush yoga. It takes the time it takes. That's a lesson from nature. You can't rush nature. And let's hop that back foot forward. So both feet are still facing forward. Slight bend in the front knee. We're not locking out. So we're lifting the hips up high, coming into our pyramid. So the gaze is down at the knee. The back of the front leg, the right leg, is getting it good. Nothing wrong with that. And I'm still thinking of the pyramid in front of the Louvre Museum in Paris. The first time I was in Paris, that didn't exist. It wasn't there. I was 16 and I was a foreign exchange student one summer. The next time I went back to run the marathon in 2011, there it was. And let's hinge forward the front knee, pushing back into dog. So holding your dog, noticing the flexibility that you have, the lengthening through the legs, maybe the arms, flowing through your vinyasa. Down dog, high plank, cobra or up dog. Exhaling back into down dog. Feet behind hands, hanging in your forward fold. Shake yes, shake no. Hands to shins, reaching out long. Flat back. Hanging forward yet again, bending through the knees. Inhaling up. Arms down. Beautiful. So lots of work with the low body, with the hips, with this. We're not done. Horse. So I always think of my childhood heroine, Laura Ingalls, because she was second girl, middle girl, so was I. I have two brothers too. So I can totally understand her feisty spirit. So hips are open, ultimate hip opener, right? Hip opener. So let's just get acquainted. My shoulders are stacked over my hips. Here's the side view, okay? Shoulders are over hips. And toes are pointing out to the sides. So I'm allowing my hips to open up. Think about my warrior two position. That front leg was wide open, right? The back leg was straight. Breathing here. You can hold on out here. You can flex this pose by lifting one heel and just going up and down. You can hold with one heel up. You can do it the same thing to the other side. You can do two heels up, not because you're better, just because you tried it. You can forget the whole thing. The focus is on the hips. It's not on the ego, right? You're in your house. I don't know what anybody's doing. So relaxing. Bring your arms out to goalpost. Squeezing the glutes. Maybe coming down a little bit lower. Going up and squeezing. Coming down a little bit lower yet. Going up and squeezing. Taking that little break when you go up. Coming down. And let's just take a stretch to the side. Doing even more for those hip flexors. Let's look up at the sky. Let's come back to center and do the same thing on the other side. Come back to center, come into compassion stretch. Palms facing forward like a big group hug, right? Round your shoulders, open the backs of your shoulders. Let's take the hands to the mat, walking your right leg out long, and just bending your left knee, bringing your right toes up. Feeling that inner thigh stretch. Something crazy, right? Switching sides. I'm sliding my heel over, bending my right knee, stretching my left leg out, toes to sky. Let's come forward, toe heel, toe heel, toe heel. Inhale up. Salute to the sun, hands together. Exhale down, hands to heart. Coming into Tadasana pose. This might be your balancing pose today. Maybe your hands are at your sides. Maybe your hands are in reverse prayer behind you. Find your center. Observe your body. Observe your hips, your hip flexors. Feel your mat beneath your bare feet. Wiggle your toes. Notice the space between your toes. Lifting the crown of your head to the sky. The sun lengthening through the spine, growing your spine. Finding more room. Separating your right lung from your left lung, your yang side, your right side from your yin, your left side. Together, exhale down. One more time in horse, no joke. I told you this was a hip opener. One more time. Noticing. Take a different hand position, a different mudra. Maybe you hold this position. Maybe you place your hands on your thighs. Shoulders are back. Whatever it might take to feel like you're getting a little bit more hip opening. Hip openers sound just like what they are. They're opening up at the hips and they're helping these muscles. Whoops. Sometimes the second time we go through the exercise, the asana, the pose, it feels a little different. It feels a little bit more aware. Maybe there's more room there. Legs together, feet together. Let's shake that out. We're going to do another Psoas helper here. We're going to come into dancer. So if you like dancer, we'll do it. If you want to do a different balancing pose, do a different balancing pose. But left foot down, all the weight on the left leg, right knee bent. Reaching behind me to the inside of my right foot. Side view better. Bending my right leg, keeping my right knee in alignment with my right hip. I'm on the inside of my foot, my shoulders rotated back, and I'm kicking my foot into my back. Maybe I'm reaching out with my left arm. Stretching the quadricep of the right foot. The quadricep is connected to the other muscles in your hips that could get irritated. So that's one version of dancer. You can do something else if you want instead. You can do a tree pose, right? Because that's getting your hip opener there. So I'll go on the other side, shifting all the weight down on my right leg, bending my left leg, reaching to the inside of my left foot. Whoops. Using my wall as support, reaching out long, kicking my heel into my butt cheek. And if you balance out, you can come back in. Body awareness. Maybe this is as much as I'm going to get for today. Breathe in. Breathe in. Let's take a nice flow here. Arms out wide, legs out wide. Inhale up, sunflowers. Exhale down. Release all of that. Tight muscles, fronts and backs of the legs. Beautiful. We're going to come down to the mat. And we're going to take the left leg in front, cross the right leg over, or other side, it doesn't matter. So we are in Tadasana leg with the left leg, toes to the sky, heel is down, holding on to my knee. I'm going to inhale up and bring my right arm behind me and drop my right shoulder. This is already creating the twist that I'm looking for and keeping my knee in alignment to the midline. If you want more, you can start looking behind you as you twist. Whoops, there's the past. I'm going to leave it behind me. Relax the face, relax the throat. Coming back to center, and then releasing. Right leg out long, left knee over. Toes are up high, holding on to this knee, lifting up. Maybe this is twisting enough for you. Maybe you want more. Left arm up, back and down, using it as a second spine. Holding your knee to the midline, beginning to twist. Starting at the lumbar spine, the base of the spine, climbing up the thoracic to the cervical spine. Notice that your past is behind you here as well. Leave it. And inhaling back to center. Nice. Coming into our butterfly legs, bound ankle. So you can be as close as you wish of your feet towards your torso. You can be as wide as you like, relaxing your hips down. You can place blocks underneath. So if you haven't bought a set of blocks and a strap, maybe a bolster or a special blanket or a pillow thing to use as propping for yoga, I highly recommend it. So you can buy these things online, of course. I think they even sell yoga stuff at Whole Foods. You can buy it at Marshall's and TJ Maxx and Target. Hinging forward at the hip crease. Hips are open. Allowing your elbows to press on the insides of your calves. We're lengthening through the spine, keeping the shoulders down, looking forward and long. But we're really working on the hip opener that's happening. So let's just breathe into it. We're going to stay here longer than we would otherwise be interested in. Breathe into the space. Breathing into it. Oh my golly gosh. A lot's going on here. Hip openers happening, helping with the psoas, helping release those tight muscles all around your hips from sitting too much. Keeps them from staying contracted. Let's release that. Super nice. Let's come down to our backs for a moment. We'll come down in cat, reaching the arms out long, rounding the shoulders, tucking the tailbone. Bringing the knees into the chest. Give yourself a hug. Knees into chest, like, ooh, look what I've been doing. Left leg out long. Right leg up. Maybe you grab onto your toe here. Maybe you hold on to the back of your calf here. Maybe you take a strap around your foot. Whatever it is, so both legs, Tadasana. Switching sides, left leg up, right leg out, nice and long. Allowing that nice stretch to the back of your leg. And let's release that, bending both knees, bringing both arms out into a T. Balancing equally, maybe walking your feet to the edges of the mat, so wide legs, and we'll just gently allow both knees to melt over to the right. Inhale to center, look away, melt to the left. Inhale to center. Couple more times. And then bringing the feet closer in, heels close to the butt cheeks, arms framing the body, palms are down. We're going to do some gentle bridging, or you can just do some pelvic tilts here. So, tilting the pelvis, coming into cat. That's what this low back is doing here. Squeezing the glutes, lifting the hips, squeezing, and then coming back down. Baby bridge. Supported bridge, just placing the block underneath your hips, lifting up, squeezing, looking up, maybe interlacing the fingers, getting a chest expansion while this is going on. Heart above the head, inversion. Maybe you're not doing any of that. If something hurts, you know you're not doing it. We'll take it one more time. Tilt the pelvis, low back into the mat, lift the hips, lift the gaze up into the sky, pressing into the mat, squeezing your glutes, and then releasing. Nice, bringing knees to nose, coming into your egg pose, knees to nose. It's all inside you. The mighty oak tree is inside the acorn. You have to use your imagination. It's all inside you. Let's release this into five-pointed star, right leg to right, left leg to left. Stretching out, twinkle your toes, your fingers, circle your wrists. Inhale up and then exhale down. Right toes to the right, left toes to the left. Let yourself be set up for your final resting pose, Shavasana, corpse pose. Relaxing. Letting your breath return to normal. Breathing in the great air of your yoga practice, the air of now, feeling what now feels like. You've emptied the vessel and you've filled it up again with something that's good, adding to your helpful mindset, adding to the body awareness, the connection you have, grounding yourself into the present moment. Whatever the present is, you're aware of it, free of judgment. Judging means you're comparing to something else. Well, this chocolate cake isn't as good as other chocolate cakes. Well, that's robbing ourselves of the moment of this chocolate cake. Sorry to mention chocolate cake. And when you feel ready to drop back into the room, if you wish, otherwise continue your Shavasana as long as you like. You can begin wiggling fingers and toes, circling wrists and ankles, turning your head from side to side. Bringing your knees into your chest, give yourself a hug. Thank you, body, for bringing me to this yoga practice today. Thank you, mind, for thinking this was going to be a good idea. And thank you, spirit, for being playful on the mat. Turning to one side, fetal asana pose, taking a moment in fetal asana pose to continue to focus your mind's eye on what you want more of. Sealing your practice in. This feels good. My body feels good. And then guiding yourselves up to an easy seated position at the top of your mat. Aligning your spine one last time, plugging into the earth energy and the sky. Inhaling up. Body, mind, spirit, hands together. Exhale down. The light, the student, the teacher in me honors the light, the student, the teacher in you. Namaste. Thanks, everybody. Glad you were here. Come back. We've got a lot more yoga.